So there's been a little problem here. I have been flooded by plush toys. So I think, yeah, I have to kind of first make some space. So yeah. So I think this is the last video I make here from behind the table. From behind the table, from behind the plush toys and stuff. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. I can do this. There we go. Right. So first I'm going to show you something. There was a very important lesson in my life once. So I always loved plush toys. Yeah, as I was saying, I was... Sorry, I just keep... things happen. So I was a curious child, and I always was interested in pushing boundaries and exploring the realm of things that you cannot undo. I was always interested in how far can you go, and what does it feel like to do next thing. So once upon a time, when I must have been not more than 6, that's for sure, because it was still in the old flat, and I had a lot of plush toys, and my mom went to talk to the neighbor and she was literally just like standing at at the door talking with her or with the other neighbor across the threshold or whatever, and I just thought it was a good idea to take this little guy here and to hold him over a flame. So when you look here, you have this, he has a wound here, has a scar. As it occurred, you can't. That's definitely one of those things that you cannot undo. So this is Alfred JKwak, and for him nothing was ever the same again. So I kind of feel sad because I packed all the bags and I'm thinking like, I should have packed him. His history, he made history. So yeah, so there's a lot of plush toys here, but not the ones I want. Okay, I promise this is the last time I'm talking about this fucking trip. I'm just gonna say 2 things. Well, not just 2 things, but a couple of things. Just to wrap it up, okay? Please, because this is an important thing. So, I just came back from a walk. I was all around my neighborhood once more, but I think I did like a bigger circle, and I was trying to really feel it, to really let myself feel the things like you would think there would be a lot bottled up and a lot to kind of work through and remember, and I mean, one thing is for sure, it's emotionally heavy, but mostly because I'm just here. But I was thinking, memories and like, owing over this and that, and I'm just looking at this as if it was somebody else's life, and maybe that's the whole point. I don't know if did you do such trips to, the place of origin, to your homeland, and to reunite, or I was thinking that maybe this me coming back would be an opportunity to kind of make peace. And there are 2 things I would 2 possibilities. Either it would be making peace and kind of beginning maybe some fresh relationship with my family, and beginning of reconciliation and yeah, all these things, just but I don't think that's gonna happen because nothing has changed, and there isn't anything that I can do differently. There isn't there's there, I don't know. The only thing I could do here is to endure, you know, a relationship that makes me unhappy and exhausts me. And even though yes, there are sweet moments, yes, there are nice moments with everything. If you take the most dysfunctional relationship, and I've been in a few, they all had nice moments, really. If people were dickheads from the beginning, from the very beginning and until the end, constantly, I think, even me, even, I think, people wouldn't stick to such situations. It's a gradual, you know, kind of evolution of a relationship, and there's a lot into it, and I don't think anyone wants to be with an asshole, and anyone wants to, it's not that clear. And I think a lot of things in my family were how I call it, schizophrenic. It was just kind of, there were seemingly impossible to exist. I mean, seemingly, like maybe that's not the right word, but I mean that you wouldn't have thought they are part of the same person, like the things that would happen, or behaviors, or kind of like, it comes from a different place. This what my family would show were like opposite agendas, and it was a constant conflict and paradox, and it was very difficult to keep track of that, and to kind of have a certain stability, or like emotional stability, and steady feedback. There was a conflicting feedback basically from my family, constantly, between them and me, and them, and just everyone. So one of those things. So yeah, I just can't see myself, and I've never been this kind of person. And of course, I started talking about something, and it becomes something else. Never mind. So I've never been this kind of person. I've always been very. It's very hard for me. Like, I almost don't see myself as a part of this family. I don't feel like I ever did. It's almost like, physically, it's unfortunately, as I would sometimes think that unfortunately, oh, this is kind of cute as well. Sorry, I have like plenty of plush toys here, and I had left some behind, and I was making hard decisions today, being very ruthless, and anyway, so the resemblance, unfortunately, is undeniable. So there is no chance I'm adopted, as I would have hoped when I was much younger. And when I was a kid, right? I would always think like, okay, that could explain a lot of things if I was adopted. And where are my real parents? Where is my real family? This is not possible that I come from this root. This is very, very strange. I'm some kind of mutated sprout. And so yeah, there was that. And but regardless, I would never really feel any kind of like, it's very strange. I know that there are things in my parents that I recognize that I do, or but fuck, it's very strange. I don't feel rooted in here as anything, really. It's almost like I've been delivered here. Like somebody just dropped me here, and these are my parents now, and this is my, this is my home. And even when I get really like interested in my story and where I come from and all these little things, and childhood really is this sort of fascinating realm for me that you can still explore as you grow up, and it's very inspiring, and there's a lot of to learn from it, and a lot of to kind of source from. So there is that, but yeah, I kind of feel I always felt, I guess, like an adult. Although when I see some stuff that I used to write or draw, I'm like, oh my god, okay, no, I was definitely a child once. But yeah, I can remember we always would, with my brother, we would always be a bit on the side, watching the situation from another perspective and just kind of walking around everything to see different perspectives of all the thing. Interesting. And so all that to say that for me, family isn't really a priority because I don't really understand this. I don't understand. I mean, of course, intellectually I understand, and emotionally I can empathize, but I don't feel the same. I think that you can still empathize with feelings that you don't personally feel, right? Like you can, yeah, right. That makes sense. Or am I weird now? So I don't really. I never felt like you have to be. Have to play the game. Have to be the part of a certain scenario or certain hierarchy or set of priorities or anything that includes or I don't know, it's just weird. It's like I was always a person who has a certain walk to walk, and if you do not respect me on terms that I find healthy and that make me happy and that make me feel good and secure and that's a lie, because that hasn't always been the case to no yeah to I think I evolve into that more than I've always been like that, but yeah, I had this idea that you sorry, I'm a little bit distracted with sounds. So yes, so basically, like, okay, meet me on my terms or do not meet me, because um, I don't need it. Like, I don't understand why anyone should be forced into a relationship with their family if they make them unhappy, and I just don't get it. Just don't get it. Other than, of course, like just political or material or some other, reasons that aren't that are more practical. But I just never, I just never felt like it's right. It just, when something doesn't feel right, it just doesn't feel right. And so yeah, all that to say that I do not see this situation changing anytime ever. So what exactly is happening here? What exactly what should I just pop in the next 5 years? It's just, I think that I'm always this kind of person who doesn't. I don't like leaving traces. Like, either I'm connected with someone or I'm not connected with someone. I don't really hang out with people who I kind of like but sort of not, and I like, oh yeah, they're kind of okay for 5 minutes, but they make me cry. What's the point of that? Like, life is short. Why would we do that? So of course there's like a part of me that was, there was there must have been guilt involved in that, and like, so what am I? Do I just cut the ties like completely? And fucking hell, now it's low battery. I'm old. Always something. So what do I do? What do I do now? So the idea was to come here and see what's the situation, and either make a new beginning or cut the ties and say goodbye. I'm not sure if saying goodbye makes any sense, because I haven't been here for 5 years. It's like, it's not like tickets are so impossibly expensive. It's not like I'm not free to travel a lot. It's, like, it should be, it could give some people a hint, but yeah, but it's like, even if I say goodbye, like, nobody's gonna believe me. It's like, it's always been like that. It's like, yeah, it just makes no sense. Like, you can do whatever you want. They have their story, and even if everything speaks against this story. Yes, so I was actually obviously interrupted because there is no such thing as privacy and respect of, so that's what I was saying. But the thing is, so even if you say, if what was I saying? Oh my god. They will just refuse to accept parts of the story, or whole new stories that are not compatible with their programming. There's just, and so there will be, they're like complete, and you can even hear it at conversations. Am I getting too deep and again into family stuff? It's just like, in a way, of course, it's fucking annoying. I mean, I've been here 5 days, so it's like, I don't want to become it. Help me. I need out. So I'm leaving tomorrow, so it's good. But of course, like, that's the thing, like, inevitably there's things, especially when you're a sensitive person, things just kind of they just kind of become, whatever you surround yourself with will kind of flow into you, or through you. I don't know how to explain that. It's so I think it's very, very important to surround yourself with the things that correspond, with the things that correspond with your, will. So yeah, it's like, I'm aware of this, but it's happening nevertheless. Can I stop it? Because I think that one way of knowing things is becoming it. It's just like, it's the same thing. Knowing something intimately is becoming it. Even if you're aware of it, you're still it. But if you're aware of it, maybe you can diverse the process, and you can, kind of flow in and out, hopefully. so yeah, of course it fucking affected me. All this is which is happening. I'm a human being. But yes, speaking of, so yes, so I don't know. I just don't know what to do. No, I really know what has to be done, and it's gonna hurt. So there's that. And another thing I wanted to do, I wanted to retrieve the missing piece of my soul, and missing piece of my soul got lost somewhere in action. So it has to be buried. It has to be, I have to grieve and have to move on. I will live without a piece of my soul. I was doing just fine so far, so I'm sure I do not need it. So maybe it's just like, just the fact of me coming here should be more than enough. more than enough. And I still have the things that I want to burn. So there will be, or there will be used as strange offerings, or I will be just like burning layers for layers and letting go and letting go. And finally I'll shave my head and join the monastery. Or something. Really like my hair though. So, and what else was gonna happen? So yes, the reconciliation or the end of things, the missing part of my soul or grieving process right now. What else was supposed to happen? Well, I was supposed to go and take fuckloads of pictures of my neighborhood and where I grew up and all, like how it happened, and this is where I went to school and this is where I went to a next school and this is and I had no time for this, so I only took a couple of very pathetic pictures. Well, pathetic in a way that I had plans, I had big ambitious plans, and none of that happened. So I'm a little bit disappointed here. And of course it didn't happen because I was fucking so so yeah, that was another thing. So that didn't happen. And not just pictures, but there were supposed to be videos. There was supposed to be a whole video, a whole channel, a whole documentary, a fucking Netflix series. There was supposed to be a thing, and the thing did not happen. And what does it mean? Does it mean I have to come back here again? What's going on? Am I even in focus here? What the oh no. This is not the place where you want to focus. Hang on a second. What's happening? Why I don't know how to use simple devices. Yes, you can focus here if you want. Somebody tell me what to do. So, so I'm here expressing myself out of focus, right? Great. So, I have been beaten by creatures. Yeah, documentary thing, and it didn't happen, but I actually really like my city. I think where I grew up is amazing. I think the parts where I didn't grow up in are amazing too. Like this very much rough parts of the city are really, really cool. It's whole like, post-apocalyptic landscape, which I really like, and it's very interesting, and it's very cool material for photography series and stuff. So I'd like to do it one day, but I don't think it's gonna have the same context. It wasn't supposed to be like that anyway now, but next time it's just gonna be something completely different. Maybe I'm not even gonna say, I'm not gonna announce my arrival. It's gonna be something different. Yeah, definitely a lot of working through, but the thing that I was also expecting to kind of reconcile with the landscape and to kind of talk to the landscape and to feel the places that held me for so long. But it wasn't really that, I was kind of walking around and I didn't really feel much. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's nice. Oh yeah, yeah, I was here. Interesting. Oh yeah, I remember. None of these emotional reactions, and I couldn't feel super connected. I feel very tense and kind of blocked, maybe because of how stressed I am here, and of course, yeah, I told you I can't sleep and shit like that. So yeah, I walked all around today, and I was hoping that with every corner I will kind of discover some layer of memories, and I'll finally reach deep enough to kind of to feel something that's alive. And I don't know. It's very strange. That's not what I was expecting. I don't exactly know what to do with this outcome. I was hoping for something more dramatic. I was as I do, There must be some drama, there must be some symbols, some myth, and there must be story. And that's kind of just anticlimactic, very much. But it's good I made this trip, before I turn the great 30. And from then on, I'll be just old. So, no, it was good. It was good to do it. But tomorrow I'm going, and it's gonna be a marathon. Quite a marathon of buses and sleeping in strange places like buses and airports. And it's gonna be quite exhausting. And yeah, I better get going. So I have, I do some stuff just before leaving. Like packing. Packing is good. I feel like I haven't packed in a while, so if you guys have any boxes as well to send me or something, that would be really nice, because I feel like I'm running out of boxes, or like boxes to pack or unpack. Maybe I should do it professionally. The problem is that by now I should be really efficient with packing and boxes. I'm not, so I'm learning nothing. I'm gonna end now, and I shall see you soon. Take care.